Welcome to the Chronicles of a Cheating Wife channel. A new story every day. Don't forget to subscribe. Are you sure you want to know? I didn't promise anything, she says, and those are the first words that slice through the silence. I'm standing there, my pulse hammering, trying to breathe through the leaden weight that's closing around my lungs. She's looking at me, head tilted slightly to the left, a tense line bracketing her mouth. Her voice is low, almost shaky, but her eyes won't leave mine. Outside, I hear the traffic rumble down the street, an ordinary hum of engines and horns, but in this room everything feels static, like we're in some slow-motion nightmare. She's my wife, Amanda. We've been married long enough that I can count our shared memories by the boxes of old photos in the attic and the small lines that have begun to form around her eyes. Married long enough that I assumed we had an unspoken agreement to stand by each other, no matter what. That we promised something. But apparently, as she just said, she never promised. Or maybe she did once, but now that promise is broken. I don't speak. I can't. My voice is pinned down by the overwhelming sense that I've stepped into a version of my life where every piece of furniture has shifted, just a little, so I keep bumping into corners I never noticed before. There's an echo in my mind. I found her phone, tried to set an alarm, and saw that note. One line. Should I tell the truth or keep silent? That's how it started. Or maybe it started before that. I'm not sure. My timeline is scrambled. Part of me is asking if I truly want to know everything, or if I should just drop it and pretend. But the truth always demands attention. The truth doesn't like to be buried. She sets her phone on the table. The screen goes dark, her reflection disappearing. I wonder how I look in that reflection, like a ghost, or maybe a monster. Because right now, I feel monstrous. My heart's churning with a hot brew of anger, shame, guilt, confusion. If I speak, will I stammer or break? Will she sense how unhinged I am? I try to swallow. Fail once. Try again. What are you? I begin, but then I realize I'm not sure what question I want to ask. How long? Why him? Did you ever love me? My mind reels with a million demands. Accusations, please. I don't want to sound weak, but I also can't come off as that typical raging husband. My throat aches from the tension. She flicks a glance at the window, where lights from the street cast stripes on the wall. We can talk later, she says, her voice suddenly subdued, as if she regrets uttering that initial bombshell. I'm tired. I laugh, but the sound is hollow bitter. Sure, you're tired. Perfect. I press my palms flat on the table. I feel something like venom on my tongue. No, let's talk about it now. She half turns, crossing her arms over her chest. Are you sure? There's something in her tone I can't parse. Pity. Or maybe she's testing me. I don't want to hurt you more than. I cut her off. Don't worry. You've done enough. The words come out cold, each syllable weighted. You think you can hurt me more than you already have. She looks down at the floor. Her shoulders slump just a little. For a moment, I see the woman I used to hold in my arms, the woman who used to make me laugh just by winking at me in a crowded room. The woman who, for the longest time, I thought I understood better than anyone. But now, she's a stranger. And I'm not even sure I want to know her anymore. Silence. I can hear the hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen, the way the night air presses against our windows. Everything feels heavy. I realize something. I'm not even sure how to be angry the right way. Part of me wants to scream. Part of me wants to cry. Part of me wants to punch a wall, punch a face. But I'm locked in this numbness, this half-dead feeling that claws at my insides and leaves me stumbling. I guess that's what betrayal does. It scrambles your emotional code. She starts to say something. Her lips part. Then she shuts them again. The seconds drag. Eventually, I just shake my head and walk away, leaving her in the hallway. I climb the stairs to our bedroom, feeling the burn of every step. My heart is pounding so violently I think it might bruise my ribs from the inside. I'm suffocating in my own house. That's what keeps looping through my brain. I can't breathe here anymore. I can't remember sleeping that night, just a restless blur of unformed nightmares. At some point, I roll over and see her figure next to me in the bed, her body turned toward the wall, as if she's trying to fold into herself and vanish. The sheets rustle, the darkness is thick, and I lie there, eyes open, feeling dead. It's a strange sensation when you realize a marriage has collapsed, like the building is on fire, but you're stuck behind a locked door. In the morning, we barely speak. I'm at the kitchen table with my coffee, staring at the walls. She's rummaging in the cabinets, pulling out sugar, spoons, a plate, then she sets them back. Her hands tremble. I notice, but I don't say anything. The coffee is too bitter, or maybe it's my mood. She stands there in her business casual attire, hair pinned back neatly. Every detail of her appearance is carefully composed, as if she's heading to another day of managing recruitment in her fancy-it company. Meanwhile, I'm still that senior accountant who's supposed to be rational, methodical, but I feel like I can't even add 2 plus 2 right now. I think she wants to say something. Instead, she checks her watch and mumbles about being late. I have a meeting, she says, her tone apologetic, like that's all that matters. Then she's gone, the front door clicking shut behind her. I sit there, letting the coffee turn cold. Later, I pick up her phone. Stupid impulse. I tell myself it's just to set the alarm again, or maybe to confirm some detail from the note I read. But I find myself scanning her messages. My hands tremble. There's a conversation with him. A name. Daniel. A short text from last night. Something about missing you. When can we meet again? And a response from her. Soon, but we have to be careful. My stomach knots. I stare at the screen, reading every word like it's a knife that's cutting me. I shouldn't be doing this, but I can't stop. That's how I confirm it wasn't just some drunken mistake. It's an affair. She's with a guy named Daniel, a project manager, probably from her workplace. 35, single, good salary, well-groomed, and apparently looking for a married woman to spice up his evenings. My mind conjures up images I don't want to see, them in a hotel room, or maybe after work in her office with the door locked, or in the back seat of his car. I can't breathe. I fling the phone onto the couch, like it's radioactive. For a moment, I feel shaky, nauseous. Then I start pacing around the living room, forcing air in and out. My thoughts are chaotic. Maybe I should confront him. Maybe I should call him up and threaten him. Or maybe I should just pack my bags. I can't decide. But something in me snaps that evening when I come home from my shift. The house is quiet. The sun is setting, and she's not back yet. I go into the garage, rummage through old photo albums. I find an old corporate party shot, the one from 2 years ago. My wife is there, smiling, looking radiant in a black dress. And there he is, just behind her, a hand raised in a friendly wave. Daniel Harris, if I recall correctly. I tear him out of the group photo. Just him, with that perfect posture, that confident grin. I tape his face to a plank of wood. Then I hammer a few nails around it, building a makeshift target. I don't know what exactly I'm doing, but I feel compelled to do something. Anything. To channel this insane, swirling rage. Each night after that, I come home. I go to the garage. I take a small hammer, drive nails into that damned photo, through his eyes, through his mouth. Not out of revenge exactly. More like I'm trying to figure out where to put these hands of mine, how to let the tension out before it devours me. Inside the house, though, I say almost nothing. She moves around me like I'm a statue or a shadow. Occasionally, she tries to talk. James, about us. Or, we need to figure this out. But I can't speak. There's this giant weight on my chest, and the words just won't come out without sounding trivial or pathetic. In my mind, I see them together, her hair brushing against his shoulder, his hand on her waist, the murmur of shared secrets that should have been ours. The images won't stop playing behind my eyes. At night, I set an audio track on my phone, an endless loop that just says, "Here was a lie." I let it play softly in the kitchen, over and over, while I go about my chores. Let it seep into the walls. Let it fill the silence. Part of me wants her to believe it's about her. But deep down, I think it's about both of us. How we let our marriage disintegrate into this betrayal. How neither of us did enough to stop it. Or maybe it's just about me and this twisted guilt that maybe I'm responsible for letting her slip away. I'm not sure what to feel. My emotions are scrambled. Some days I feel hollow. Some days I'm ready to explode. She starts coming home late. I pretend not to notice. Sometimes she tries to hide the smell of his cologne on her coat. Other times, maybe she's showering at his place. Who knows? My mind is a constant churn of possibility. I can't decide if I want to tear down the entire city or just drive away somewhere far. Let the memory of her fade. But I stay. Because I'm half dead inside, and half of me still loves her so fiercely, I can't imagine life without her. Then one day, I'm in the kitchen, slicing vegetables for dinner, going through the motions. I hear the front door open. She steps in quietly. I pretend I'm too busy to look up. She sets her purse on the counter, stands there for a moment, as if rehearsing her lines. Then she speaks, voice trembling. "James, I can't keep doing this. I'm sorry." I freeze. My hand grips the knife so tight my knuckles go white. "You're sorry," I echo, my tone flat. I set the knife down. Slowly, I turn to face her. I see tears shining in her eyes. She looks small, vulnerable. I want to hate her, but seeing her tears wrenches something in my chest. "This wasn't supposed to happen," she continues, her voice breaking. I never wanted to break us." I stare at her for a long moment. Then I force a smile. "But it feels like an open wound. You never wanted to break us," I say softly, letting the bitterness drip from my words. "But you did." She nods, swallowing hard. "I know," she whispers. "I wish I could." "What?" "Go back in time. Erase the fact that you slept with him. That you lied every day." I see her flinch, but I keep going. My voice is calm, almost eerily so. "You realize you've destroyed everything, right?" She covers her mouth with a trembling hand. I felt so alone. You were always working, always distant. We barely talked about anything real anymore. And then he was there, listening to me, making me feel. God, I know it's not an excuse. She takes a shaky breath. "Please, just understand. I was lost." I laugh, short, sharp, without humor. "Understand? You want me to understand your reasons for screwing someone else?" The words come out with a savage edge I didn't know I had. "Sure, honey. Let me just wrap my mind around that real quick." She sobs, a soft, broken sound, and suddenly, I hate myself for twisting the knife. Part of me wants to wrap my arms around her and say we'll fix it. Another part wants to see her suffer. I watch tears fall down her cheeks. I used to kiss those cheeks to stop her tears. Now I just stand there, arms stiff at my sides. After a long, tense silence, I walk past her. She tries to grab my arm, but I pull away. I go to the garage, pick up the hammer, and for a moment, I just hold it, staring at Daniel's photo. The face I'd defiled with nails. My heart is pounding. I'm not sure if I want to smash the entire wall or just throw the hammer down and weep. That night, I put on the audio again. Here was a lie. Here was a lie. She hears it. Doesn't speak. We move around each other in the house like cautious animals. It's suffocating. I'm stifled by my own rage and sorrow, and this relentless feeling that maybe I caused it all. Did I neglect her? Did I push her away with my silence, my disinterest? Did I bury my head in spreadsheets and budgets while she was crying out for attention? But then my anger reasserts itself. No, she made her choice. She let someone else into our marriage. That's on her. Days pass. The tension coils tighter. We barely exchange words, but every glance is loaded with unsaid things. I see her eyes scanning me, uncertain. She tries to apologize again, but I cut her off with a wave of my hand. At night, I lie awake, picturing her entangled with him. My mind conjures the details. The flush of her cheeks, the arch of her back, her breath hitching in quiet moans. The images poison me from the inside, driving me to the brink of madness. Eventually, the confrontation I've been dreading and longing for explodes. It happens in the living room, right after she comes home from another late meeting. I'm sitting in the dark, a single lamp on. She walks in, sees me, freezes. I said it ended. She blurts, words tumbling over themselves. Daniel and I. It's over. I'm done. I swear. I raise an eyebrow. My pulse thuds in my ears. What do you want from me? A gold star. She sets her bag down, steps closer, her voice trembling with desperation. I want you to believe me. I want you to talk to me. I'm so sorry. I stand up slowly, my hands clenched into fists at my sides. Talk? Sure. Let's talk. Let's talk about the time you told me you were working late, but you were really with him. Let's talk about how you must have laughed at me behind my back. How you lied in our bed with me at night, but you smelled like him. My voice cracks, betraying the hurt beneath the anger. She chokes out a sob. I never laughed at you. It wasn't like that. How was it then? I snap, stepping closer, feeling the heat rolling off my skin. Was he better than me? Did he make you feel special? Did you tell him all our secrets? She shakes her head, tears streaming down. I'm sorry, she whispers, over and over, as though it's a broken record. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I never meant. I swear, James, I never meant. I cut her off, pressing my lips together to keep from screaming. Then I do something that surprises even me. I release a long breath and let the anger drain from my voice, leaving just the weariness. You never meant it. I get it. She looks at me, blinking rapidly. It's finished, she says again, softer. I told him I can't go on like that. I nod slowly, an almost pitying smile twisting my mouth. So you're done with him. But that doesn't erase what happened, does it? That doesn't erase the betrayal. She trembles, crossing her arms around her body. I know. I don't know how to fix this. I exhale, stare at the floor for a moment. Then I speak quietly, each word carefully measured. You can't fix this, Amanda. She looks up, eyes wide with panic. But you can't just. What are we going to do? I walk past her, heading into the kitchen. She follows, footsteps light, like she's afraid any sudden movement might shatter the fragile shell of our marriage. I stand by the sink, run the tap, splash cold water on my face. My reflection in the window is that of a stranger, a man with dark shadows under his eyes, lips pressed into a thin line. When I turn around, she's right there, arms hugging her chest. Amanda, I say quietly, I'm not who I used to be. And neither are you. She takes a trembling breath. What if we can start again? I can't help it. I laugh, a hopeless, choking sound. Start again. After everything. After I hammered nails into a photo of your lover's face in the garage every night. After you told me you felt alone and found comfort in his bed. After all the lies and the phone messages and the smell of him on your clothes. I trail off, shaking my head. I'm sorry, but I can't just reset. She blinks, tears shining. I can't lose you. Please, let's try therapy. Counseling. I'll do anything. Her words tumble out raw. I know she's grasping at a lifeline, but I'm so far gone I can't imagine any counselor bridging this canyon. Part of me wants to say yes, because I'm terrified of a life without her. But then I think of how it felt when I discovered the truth. The suffocating humiliation. The nights I listened to that loop. Here was a lie, like a funeral dirge for our love. And I shake my head. She sobs, turning away. I can almost taste her desperation in the air. My own chest feels tight with conflicting impulses. I want to hold her and strangle her, comfort her and abandon her, all at once. My reflection stares back from the dark window, mocking me. Who the hell am I now? I need space. I manage, forcing the words out. I need to think. She sniffles. Then I'll leave. If that's what you need. I'll go stay at a friend's. I laugh softly, without humor. So I stay here, in this house that's basically just a tomb for everything we once had. That's supposed to help me. She hesitates. Then I'll leave you the house. I can find somewhere else. At least until we figure things out. I nod absently, rubbing the back of my neck. The tension is excruciating. Whatever. I mumble. Do what you need. She stands there, staring at me, shoulders trembling, tears drying on her cheeks. I feel like I should say something more, something that indicates there's a glimmer of hope. But I've got nothing left. I just walk away, leaving her alone in the kitchen with that low hum of the fridge. Upstairs, I hear her opening and closing dresser drawers, the rustle of clothes being shoved into a bag. My heart hammers. Is this it then? When she finally leaves that night, suitcase in hand, I don't say goodbye. The door closes. The place feels both lighter and unbearably lonely. I stand there in the silence, hearing only my own heartbeat. Here was a lie. I can almost sense the words echoing off the walls. Though the track's off now, the quiet presses in on me like a vice. The next days blur. I go to work, do my job, come home, stare at the walls. My appetite disappears. I rummage in the garage sometimes, stare at Daniel's face, and the nails I've driven through. Something about it sickens me now, like I've become a caricature of the man who's driven mad by jealousy. I still don't know whether to confront him. Part of me wants to smash his face in. Another part wonders what the point is. One evening, I'm woken from a half-doze on the couch by a buzz on my phone. A text from her. James, can we talk? Please. I stare at it, my pulse unsteady. My thumb hovers over the keyboard, but I feel numb. I lock the screen and toss the phone aside. A week passes. Then two. The heartbreak has settled into a dull, throbbing presence behind my ribcage. People at work probably notice something's off. But no one says anything. I keep my head down, do the numbers, pretend everything's normal. Inside, I'm thinking, I'm not the man I used to be. I don't know how to be that man again. It's on a particularly cold night when I lose it again. I wander the house, open the door to the garage, stare at that hammered-up photo. Suddenly, I yank it down. I tear it into pieces, each rip echoing in the cramped space. Then I sink to the floor, my breath ragged, tears running down my cheeks. I haven't cried since I was a teenager. But here I am, a grown man, weeping in a garage over a shattered marriage. I feel pathetic, humiliated, alone. My mind flashes with guilt, like maybe it's my fault. Maybe if I'd just paid more attention, given her more affection, maybe she wouldn't have strayed. Then I curse her, curse him, curse everything. At some point, I realize I'm not living, just existing, pinned under the weight of it all. I remember my father once telling me, when something's broken beyond repair, you can try to glue it back, but you'll always see the cracks. I think that's where we stand. Cracks so deep that gluing might be pointless. 2 days later, she shows up at the front door without warning. I open it, see her standing there, coat buttoned up, hair windswept, eyes rimmed with fatigue. She's holding a small box in her hands. My throat tightens. I'm sorry, she says softly. I keep saying that, but I don't know any other words. I remain silent, stepping aside, so she can come in. She walks into the living room, looks around as if noticing for the first time how empty it is. There's a heaviness in the air. I lean against the wall, arms folded. She sets the box on the table. I brought back some of your things that ended up in my suitcase, she explains, voice trembling. And something else. I raise an eyebrow, but don't speak. She opens the box. Inside, I see a framed photo of us. Our wedding day. I remember that day vividly. The crisp air, her radiant smile, how nervous I was reciting my vows. I swallow the ache in my throat. I want you to keep it, she whispers. Whatever happens, I want you to remember that once we were happy. I stare at the photo. The younger versions of us look almost unrecognizable, bright-eyed, hopeful, trusting. My gaze flicks back to her. Why? I finally ask, my voice raw. Why bring this now? She sighs, crossing her arms over her chest. Because I realized how far I fell from that moment. How I forgot what it meant. Maybe it's too late, but part of me wanted you to know I'm not trying to erase everything. I let out a shaky breath, resisting the urge to lash out with sarcasm. Instead, I nod, an awkward jerk of my head. Thanks, I manage, though the word feels inadequate. We stand there in thick silence. Finally, she turns to me, eyes brimming. James, I'm sorry I betrayed you, and I know maybe it's unforgivable. But I need you to know, I'm done with him. I ended it. It's over. I nod slowly, my thoughts roiling. She said that before, and I do believe her, on some level. I hear you, I say, my tone measured. But that doesn't make the hurt vanish. Her eyes fill with tears again. I know. But I wanted to ask if there's any chance we can try. Counseling, separation with the possibility of reconciling. Something. I can't stand the idea of losing you forever without at least. I close my eyes. That swirling pit in my stomach returns, the old confusion, the guilt, the sadness. I don't know, I whisper. I really don't. She takes a shaky step closer. I can smell her perfume. Light, familiar, once comforting. I won't push if you say no. I let out a broken laugh. Of course you're pushing. You standing here is pushing. My phone blowing up with your texts, that's pushing. I pause, see the hurt flicker across her features. But I can't blame you. A part of me almost wants to say yes. My voice drops. I don't know how to trust you again. I'm afraid of what will become. She lays a hand on the back of the couch, as if she needs the support. I'm scared too. But I can't just walk away without trying to repair the damage I caused. She hesitates, looking at me. You look so tired. I exhale. I am tired. Tired of hating you. Tired of hating him. Tired of hating myself. Every time I see your face, I remember what you did. But every time I think about you gone forever, it feels like I've been gutted. I rake my fingers through my hair, feeling my heart pound. This is a special kind of hell. She sniffles. Maybe we can walk through that hell together. For a long time, I can't speak. My eyes burn, my breathing feels shallow. Finally, I manage a half shrug. I'm not promising anything. She nods, wiping her cheeks. I'm not asking for a guarantee. Just a chance. A pause. I'll stay away if that's what you want. But know that if you need me, if you decide, I'll be there. I manage a faint nod. Silence settles. She glances around, noticing the echo in the house. Then she lifts her suitcase from the floor. She must have brought it in behind her. I'll go now, she murmurs. I don't want to overstay. I watch her move to the door. My mind is screaming with questions. Some about the man she was with. Some about why I wasn't enough. Some about how to rewrite the pages of my life. But I say nothing. She opens the door. The night air rushes in, cold and sharp. Good night, she whispers. I just nod again. Then she leaves. My heart pounds in the dark. I cross to the table, pick up that framed wedding photo. We look so young, so full of illusions. I close my eyes, set it down, try to breathe. My mind replays the note I found in her phone. Should I tell the truth or keep silent? I wonder if she's finally told me everything, or if there's more hidden away. The doubt stabs me. Days pass in a haze. Sometimes I think about calling her. Sometimes I think about divorcing her. I bounce between extremes like a lost man. Part of me yearns for the comfort of her presence, the routine of shared morning coffee, silly jokes, a Sunday grocery run. Another part demands that I cling to my rage and never let her back in. The push and pull is exhausting. One evening, I drive aimlessly through the city. Streets are lit up by neon signs, headlights, the flicker of pedestrian crossings. The cold wind whistles through the cracked window. I feel a hollowness in my chest, like I left something important behind. I park near the lake, step out, watch the moonlight ripple on the water's surface. No one else is around. The wind bites, but I don't care. I stand there, staring at the dark horizon, thinking about how a year ago I might have come here with her. We might have laughed, shared a blanket, talked about our future. Now all I see is a black expanse I can't navigate. Eventually, I realize I can't keep living in limbo. One way or another, I have to decide. Either I attempt to mend what's shattered, or I walk away, let it all burn behind me. My father's words echo in my mind about the cracks that never go away. But my father's also the man who stuck by my mother through thick and thin. He believed in loyalty, even when times were hard. That night, I drive back home and find the house as empty as ever. Sleep drags me under in fits, bringing jagged dreams. In one dream, I see Amanda with Daniel. Vague, shifting images, tangles of sheets, muffled laughter. I wake up drenched in sweat, heart hammering. I look at the time. 3:27 a.m. For a moment, I just lie there, panting, feeling the stark reality of my solitude. The next morning, I get up, shower, go through the motions of brushing my teeth, dressing for work. I see the lines on my face in the mirror, the fatigue in my eyes. At the kitchen table, I set my phone down, stare at her last text. James, please. Let me fix this. Something snaps into place. I can't let her fix it. I can't fix it either. The time for illusions is gone. My false sense of guilt, my swirling confusion. I can't keep living that way. That afternoon, I go to her office building. I've only been there once or twice for official events. Her department's on the 10th floor. Human resources, ironically. I pass through security, ride the elevator with a knot in my stomach. It's midday. People bustle around, talking in hushed tones. I wonder if I'll see Daniel. My pulse spikes at the thought. I don't even know what I'd do. At her desk, she looks up, startled. James, what are you doing here? Her voice is quiet. She glances around, probably worried about coworkers eavesdropping. I hold her gaze. I needed to see you. The words come out dull, as if overshadowed by the thrumming in my temples. She stands, smooths her skirt. Okay, let's go somewhere private. She leads me down a hallway to a small conference room. We step inside. She closes the door. The walls are glass, but there are blinds we can pull. She does so, blocking out prying eyes. I take in a steadying breath, feeling the dryness in my mouth. I can't keep doing this, Amanda. She nods, eyes full of concern and fear. I know. Me neither. I came to say goodbye. I blurt. My chest is tight. My eyes sting. I can't pretend anymore. I'm done. I have to let go. Her face blanches. What? You mean? I'm going to move out. I hear my own voice, barely above a whisper. Or you can have the house. I don't care. I can't live in it. It's full of ghosts. She looks like she's been hit by a train. James, no. Please, we can. Stop. I say, more sharply than I intend. Then I soften, swallowing the lump in my throat. Stop fighting it. We both know it's over. Even if it wasn't, I can't be that man who forgives and forgets. I just can't. She's trembling, tears brimming in her eyes. But you said we might try. I press my lips together. I thought about it. For weeks, I've thought about it, but every time I do, I see you with him, and I feel something die inside me. My voice cracks on that last phrase, and I hate that I'm showing weakness. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know how to be your husband. I've killed that part of me. Her tears slip free, rolling down her cheeks. I'm so sorry, she breathes. I never wanted this. My eyes burn, but I hold them open. I know, but it happened. This is where we are now. She stares at me, heartbreak etched on her face. For a second, I wonder if I'm making a horrible mistake. But the coil in my chest says otherwise. I can't keep living in a state of half-trust, half-despair, always wondering if she's truly mine, or if she's going to slip again. My sense of manhood, my sense of self, it's shredded. She tries to speak, but no words come. She just nods, tears falling. My throat hurts from holding back my own flood. I want to hold her, but I don't. Instead, I turn and walk out. I'm halfway down the hallway when I see him. Daniel. He's standing at a water dispenser, phone in hand. Our eyes lock. He freezes, a flicker of realization crossing his expression. For a moment, everything in me roars to tackle him, break his face, let the months of fury spill out. But I don't move. I just keep walking. His gaze drops, and he looks away, like he doesn't want to risk confrontation. Coward, I think. But maybe that's the best for both of us. Nothing good would come from a fight. In the elevator, I grip the railing, heart pounding. The door closes. The hum of the descent feels surreal. This is it, I think. I've severed the last tie. My chest is a battlefield of regret, relief, heartbreak, guilt. But beneath it all, there's a kernel of certainty. I can't stay in a place that's a constant reminder of betrayal. I need to go, even if it means stepping into a dark unknown. That evening, I pack a suitcase. The house is silent. No footsteps from Amanda. No tension crackling in the air. Just emptiness. The dusty rays of sunset filter through the curtains. I glance around at the photos on the wall. Us in happier times, smiling at a family gathering, on a trip to the Grand Canyon, at a friend's wedding. It's like looking at someone else's life. I don't even recognize that couple. I feel a twist of anguish in my gut. I walk through each room methodically. My belongings in the closet, items in the bathroom. A few sentimental trinkets, like the shell I picked up on our vacation, when we still laughed together. Eventually, I have a duffel bag and a small suitcase, plus a box of random keepsakes. That's all I'm taking. The rest can stay. Let the ghosts remain in this house. Let her do what she wants with them. Before I leave, I pause in the garage. The plank of wood is still there, though the photo of Daniel is long gone. The nails remain, hammered in a pattern that vaguely outlines a face. I let out a hollow sigh. This is the man I became. Someone who hammered nails into another man's photo. The memory makes me sick and sad all at once. I flick off the light and shut the door. In the kitchen, I see my phone lying on the table. A new text from her lights up the screen. James, where are you? Can we talk one last time? I stare at it, my jaw clenched, my eyes burning. Then I power off the phone. No more words. No more last minute please. I pick up my bags, walk out the front door. The sky's a deep purple, the street lamps casting orange glows on the sidewalk. Everything smells like cold pavement and distant pine. I stand there for a second, letting the air fill my lungs. My mind is a chaotic swirl, but there's a small clarity in the act of leaving. This is what it comes to. The final, brutal resolution. I step forward, bag in hand, leaving the house behind. Goodbye, I murmur under my breath, to no one in particular. And I keep walking, further from the house, from my old life, from the illusions and the heartbreak. The wind brushes against my face and I shiver. For better or worse, this is my path now. I toss my things in the trunk of my car, climb behind the wheel, and stare at the front door for a long moment. My heart clenches, my eyes sting, but no tears come. I switch on the ignition. The engine hums. I take a final look at the house where so much laughter and anguish happened. Then I drive off. Into the night. Into the unknown. I can't say I feel relief. I feel something else. An emptiness and a flicker of resolve. An odd mixture of shame, heartbreak, and the faint hope that maybe I'll rediscover who I am when I'm away from the wreckage. Maybe I'll figure out what it means to be James again. But for now, I just let the road unwind beneath my tires, the city lights blurring as I head for a new chapter, no matter how dark it might be. She once said, I never promised. But I guess we both did, once. At least I thought we did. Promises can be illusions. The only promise that stands now is the one I make to myself, to move forward. Even if I'm not sure who I am anymore, even if the path ahead is lonely. The finality of leaving hits me, and I press my foot on the gas. My suitcase rattles in the back, a small reminder of everything I'm carrying with me. I keep driving, picking up speed. At some point, I realize I'm gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles ache. A glance at the rearview mirror shows me the faint silhouette of a man I barely recognize. My breath comes in ragged bursts. One corner of my mouth twitches, almost in a broken smile. Because for the first time in a long time, I'm not in that stale, suffocating house. I'm not hearing the loop of "here was a lie," or rummaging through her phone for answers. I'm not hammering nails into a man's face. I'm just me, driving into the darkness, searching for the next sunrise, carrying the bruise of betrayal in my chest, and the shards of a life I once thought I understood. Maybe tomorrow, I'll wake up in a different bed, in a cheap motel or a friend's spare room, and I'll wonder how the hell I got here. But at least I'll be free to wonder, free to think, free to exist without her silhouette at my side, reminding me of everything we lost. I glance up at the night sky through the windshield. The moon is just a sliver, like a faint question mark. Who am I now? The question hovers. No easy answer, but at least I can ask it. At least I'm moving forward, away from the center of the devastation, letting the road lead me somewhere else, anywhere else. That final thought sits in the cabin of the car, silent, inexorable, as I disappear into the night.